Hey, Rose here with another online dating tip for you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about those young girls who are involved with older gentlemen. I'm going to give you tips on how you can actually secure your future, okay? Because I feel like, based on the story that I shared with you, I feel like it was a big mistake on my part to be in this, which was clearly a transactional relationship, and I was not, upfront with what I expected from this relationship. Okay, I knew that I wanted something out of this relationship, and before I get into that, there's actually a comment I want to address. Okay, this comment that I'm gonna put here on the screen, as you can see, this person is, saying that, it was greed that made me lose my youth. You, my friend, are beating up a dead horse, okay? Like I have admitted so many times, I have admitted and acknowledged and owned up to my mistakes, okay? In the beginning, very beginning of the video, the beginning of the story, I said, this video is to show you how things can go wrong when you find an old mzungu and you think this is the way I am going to omoka, this is the way that I'm gonna get rich quickly, okay? It's like this is a get rich quick kind of scheme, you know? And with that, I had already admitted, and even as we went ahead, with the video, I said I was having second thoughts, and then, I was looking at this big house and looking at the cars and looking at all these things, and I was like, this is an opportunity. So again, I am admitting, okay? So by you coming and telling me, you're just stating things that I have already talked in the video and I have admitted. So you are beating a dead horse, okay? Basically, like, yeah. So anyway, yes, I made a mistake. I saw, I thought it was an opportunity. I was naive, I was foolish, I was stupid. I have said all that. I have owned up to my mistakes. And if I was to go back and do it all over again, do you think I would do the same thing? Like, of course, not knowing what I know right now, I would never put myself in that situation. Even my previous video, the one I just posted before this one, I said I had no business moving into that house. No business whatsoever. I had no business getting involved with that man. Honestly, that was such a stupid mistake. I was foolish, I was naive, and yes, a part of it was driven by greed. I saw something and I was thinking in our African mentality that when a man wants you and he's got all these things, that now these things are ours. But this person, it was somebody from a different culture, and it was somebody who just wanted to misuse somebody, okay? So yes, I have owned up to my part of the mistakes, but you cannot blame me for everything that went wrong. He was also to blame. I am to blame, of course, but he was also to blame for Okay, anyway, you guys, I'm gonna be a part of the solution, okay? For a girl who is out there right now in a situation that I was in, okay? I'm gonna be part of your solution. And I'm gonna make sure that you don't waste a lot of time, okay? So this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. You are going to practice, okay? I'm speaking to you, the young girl, okay, who is there involved with an old foreigner, an old man. You're going to practice how you are going to speak to him, okay? If it's somebody who is saying, well, I want you to come to my country, I want you to be in my country, and maybe you want to be in his country, you want to go to the US. Again, as I said, I have also shared another story where I said I wanted to go to America, and that didn't turn out very well. I went to America and then I went back to Kenya because I went about it the wrong way. Again, I was driven by my desire to go to the US, okay? I always admit, like when I made the wrong move, I'm just gonna admit I made the wrong move. So if you want to go to the US, okay, or you want to go to Europe, there is a way you can do it without actually getting tied up to this man. You don't have to marry him. I know he's telling you, oh, I'm gonna file a K1 visa for you, and then you come to the US and then you get married. And the thing is, with K1 visa, if you're not familiar, I've talked about the K1 visa. It's a fiance visa. You're only given 90 days. You get to the US, you get married. So now your immigration papers are tied to this man. Like, you're there because of this man, because you're married to him. There is another way you can go to the US without getting married to him, if he really has good intentions, if he wants to help you secure your future. You can go via school. Okay? The F1 visa, the reason why a lot of F1 visa applications get denied is because of financial situation. Like, if you cannot prove that you're able to cater for your studies and your stay in the US, then of course your application will be denied, because how are you gonna pay for your schooling and your stay in the US? So if this guy, he wants a young girl from Kenya, okay, and obviously he needs to know that he has to have money. If ever, I've said this before, if you want to be involved with a young woman, it will cost you money. It is expensive. So what he can do is sponsor you to go to the US on a student visa. That is the F1 visa. Okay? You can look for schools, you can apply for a school in the US, in his state, or I don't know, you guys can arrange, and he can sponsor you to go to the US on a student visa. He can pay the admission fee, and he can pay for everything that is required by the school. And then he can deposit some money so you can show that you have financial ability to sustain yourself. He can give embassy a letter of showing that he's sponsoring you, and then you can go to the US on a student visa. That way you're gonna go to the US, you're gonna work as you're studying, and now once you finish your schooling, you can easily get a job. Well, I hope you can get a job in the US, and then your immigration papers are not tied to this guy. So you are free. You can live there, you can be working, you can be free, you can just do whatever you want. Alternatively, if marriage is the only way you can go, because I actually posted this video on my TikTok, and some girls came and said, no, I don't want to go to school. Or they say, well, Rose, I didn't get to that level where I can apply for a school in the US. Okay, then if marriage is the only way that you can get to the US, then of course you can get married. But before you get married, make sure that he has invested something in your country in your name. Something that is accumulating passive income. You have a passive income. For example, real estate. I always talk about real estate because if you have a house in a nice place where you can rent it out, real estate you'll never lose money. Like, there is no way you're gonna lose money. It's always appreciating, always. So before you move to the US, have a backup plan, just in case if he's really worried about your future and he cares about your future, he won't object to this idea. Invest first in your home country. Okay, that way if something goes wrong, and if you're like, oh my God, I don't know, and I don't even know if I want to be in the US, or I don't know, what do I do? At least you know you have a cushion back home. Something is actually producing something is happening in your country. You're making some money, a little bit of money. And actually this will help you also because by the time you settle in the US, you find a job, you do all these things, while you're waiting to do all that, and if you go on a K1 visa, by the time you adjust your status and everything, at least you will have money. If you have obligations back home, maybe you have your parents that need you to help them like we do, then you don't have to beg him for money. You already have something that is going on your own. So I think as we go into these transactional relationships, because as I said, this is what they are, okay? There is no way you are going to convince me that you're 25 and you're in love with a 65-year-old man. Yes, you might be in love because he's giving you money. A lot of ladies, like I have said previously, they come and they're like, he loves me and I love him. And I'm like, why do you love him so much? It's because he sends me money. Apparently, our love language, especially in Kenya, is money. So maybe you think you love him because he's supportive, okay, because he's giving you money. But I think even as you think he loves you, then he needs to love you even more by investing in your name. So you have something of your own. I think this is something that a lot of girls don't want to put on the table, okay? They don't want to be honest, and this is what got me into trouble, because I knew at the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I hope he's gonna do something for me. I hope he's gonna, but the thing is, I didn't actually bring it, and put it on the table and be like, okay, I'm working here, I cannot go and work outside, I don't have any income, so I have to have some kind of income, So another issue I want to address is when you're dating this old man, or you're married to this old man, and then he's dictating what kind of courses you should take. For example, you might go to the US and then he's like, you have to take up nursing or caregiving. Okay, you can do that if you want to. Okay, a lot of people go there, and even in Europe, and that's what they do, because there's always a need for caregivers and nurses, But the thing is, a lot of them would actually encourage you to take this course because they want in the future for you to actually be the private nurse. So now, as he gets older and older, you're going to be his private nurse and you're not getting paid. You're going to be working for free. He wants you to gain this experience to benefit him in the future, because he doesn't want to go to a nursing home. So he's thinking ahead. You're not thinking ahead, but he's thinking ahead. He's like, okay, fine, go and learn nursing. Go and learn caregiving. So you'll work a little bit, and then he'll get to that point where now you have to stay home, because like if you're married to the guy, you cannot leave your husband at home by himself and he's not able to take care of himself, and then you're going working. But now the problem here is, while you were working, you were getting paid, but now you're taking care of him, you're not getting paid. And don't let nobody lie to you. His money is his money. He has already set up ways of how his money is going to be divided in case of anything. He's already written a will and given his properties to his children and his nephews and nieces, and his cat and his dog to the dog shelter, so they can take his dog in case something happens to him and the dog is still alive. The dog shelter can take care of the dog. Or even if the dog is not there, they tend to give money to the animal shelter. So now you're there, you're not making any money. You're taking care of him for free. And then you're going to be kicked out of that house. You're going to be given a notice, 6-month notice by the children, because they're putting the house on the market. It's something that has actually happened. There are a lot of girls who have been kicked out of houses in Europe by the children. And don't let nobody lie to you. When you see these people, a lot of them don't get along with their children because of the cultural difference. And I think a lot of them, actually, if you find these people who go looking for women in Africa and then bringing them back to Europe, a lot of them don't get along with their children. Don't let nobody lie to you and say, well, he doesn't get along with his children, therefore all his properties are mine. Nope. Nope. Even if he doesn't talk to his children, he's still worried about his children, and he's still gonna leave his properties to his children and his grandchildren and his nieces and nephews. Okay, so maybe he has already made those plans. Everything is already done. So now for you is just to come there and sit with him and spend the pension that he's getting, which is just a little money. And then now you are trying to make your money, and now you cannot make your money because now you're here taking care of him for free. You have to be very careful. Be careful. I think you need to sit him down, this old man. Just sit him down, okay? Have a proper conversation with him. I'm not saying you should argue or be disrespectful or be like rude or anything. I'm just saying just have a civil conversation with this guy and say, hey, Papa, I am young, okay? You are older. I love you, but we need to think about my future, okay? You have already thought about your future, of course, because you saved up, you got your retirement. That's why you're getting money, because you saved up, right? You worked, you paid your taxes, you're getting your pension. For me, I need to also do something so I can also contribute to my retirement and to my future. I can invest and save and do something, okay? Life is not just about going to Maldives or going to Zanzibar or going to Monaco, for those of you who are in Europe, going to Monaco, going to Ibiza, going to Mykonos, going to Santorini. Life is not just about that. Yes, those are good, nice experiences to have, to see, to travel, to see different places, to interact with different people. But at the same time as you're doing that, you must think about your future, okay? So the solution, in my opinion, is to sit him down and ask him, okay? Ask him what he's thinking about your future. Like, tell him, Papa, I have found this house. It's a 2-bedroom house. I don't know, 3-4-bedroom house. Can you invest, in my name so I can have something that is gonna be generating income for me? Or, Papa, can you help me set up this business? For those of you who are living in Kenya, Papa, can you help me set up this business so I can start working, and then I can, start saving up and investing in my future? Or, Papa, can you pay for my university so I can complete this degree, so I can, have, my degree and be able to find a good job and start working and making money? Papa, even as you plan to move me to the US, I do want to go to the US, but can you make it in a way that I'm going back to school and getting my degree or my master's degree so I can have a good job and have a career and have a good future? Or, I don't want to go to school when I get to the US, Papa, but when I get there, can you suggest, because I know you know people, can you suggest where I can apply for jobs, or what I can do? Because I'm not coming there to sit in the house. I'm coming there and I'm going to work. Okay? But for those of you who want to go and have soft life, those are the ones I'm saying maybe you can invest back home, because I feel like you investing back home in your name is gonna make things easier, because there's a way you can just set up, like real estate, you can just set it up to run on autopilot, okay? You have the real estate agency that is gonna take care of your rentals, if you're gonna have, some rentals, okay? And then you're just gonna be doing your internet banking and making sure everything is deposited and everything. So maybe after 6 months you can be going back to Kenya to check up on your businesses and to check up on what's going on. That way you'll have freedom. It's all about having freedom and investing in your future, securing your future. That's what it's about. Because as I said, this person has worked, that's why he's able to come to Kenya and look for women, young women in Kenya, because he worked, he saved money, he paid his taxes, he invested. But you're just there, like my friend said yesterday, you're just there accompanying him in his life. I think I have said this before, and we said that yesterday again. You know, you're just keeping him company as he enjoys and lives his life. Anyway, I think this is something that a lot of ladies are going through, and they don't know how to go about it, and they are so bitter and angry because I am touching something that is hurting them, because they know, oh my God, I'm in this situation, Papa is taking advantage of me, and now, oh my God, why is Rose talking like this? I think it's high time you put your cards on the table. This is a transactional relationship. There is no way you're going to convince me that a 65-year-old American guy is coming to Kenya to look for a 24-year-old girl because he's looking for an equal partner. They are not going to be equal. This girl is from a third world country. She's at a disadvantage. She hasn't finished school. She hasn't worked. She hasn't done anything with her life. How are they equal? How can they sit at the table and the girl can be heard when she speaks? Because if he's even setting up that travel to go to Maldives, if you try to change the plans, and this is something again we discussed yesterday, if you try to change those plans, you'll be like, are you going to pay for that? So you're going to be doing whatever he says because he's paying for it. So you are accompanying him to enjoy the things he wanted to enjoy. So what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? It needs to be, this is why my issue here is, this is why I want you to be smart. My issue here is that you are not smart. You're not smart. You are pretending. You want to be kind to him. You want to be loving to him and blow his mind so he can toboka. He's not gonna toboka. You need to tell him. You need to tell him, Papa, this is what I expect from this relationship. Like I'm not taking advantage of you, and I hope you are not taking advantage of me. So you want to enjoy a young girl from Africa? Young girls are expensive everywhere. Africa, Asia, South America, you know, going to the Philippines, to Thailand, to Malaysia, going to Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic, going to Chile, going to those places to look for women, young women, because you know they are at a disadvantage because of their economic status. Like that is just taking advantage of young girls. That's what it is. So you as a young girl, don't let, the thing is, if he's gonna try to take advantage of you, then try to take advantage of him as well. So you guys are equal. You get the money, he gets the goods, and then everybody is happy. And if you do it in the open, you're not like looking at his ATM card and looking at the pin and stealing from him. You're just telling him like it's in the open. I have found this apartment, Papa, can you buy it for me? I need you to buy this apartment for me so I can rent it out, so I can be having some income. I'll be free to keep you company because you want company, but at the same time I'm making some money on the side without me doing anything. Sounds fair, but sounds fair to me. Anyway, my name is Rose. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your comments. Even for this guy who says that it was greed that made me lose my youth. Thank you for your comment. Like, as I said, I have already acknowledged my mistakes. So it is what it is. It happened to me. I'm still paying for those mistakes. This is why I'm so like really passionate about this and trying to save somebody else from going through what I went through. Okay, because I think staying there for too long was a mistake. Staying there working for free was a mistake, and just risking my mental health, that was a mistake. My physical health as well, and my fertility, everything. I mean, I feel like when you suppress your ovaries for 6 years with contraceptives, no break, non-stop, I think it could do something, especially when you're very young. I think it could do something. I'm not a doctor, but the truth of the matter is I risked my fertility, I risked my sexuality. I didn't get to enjoy good sex with somebody close to my age, all my 20s. I lost everything. So yeah, you are just beating a dead horse. Like it is what it is. I lost. I'm still paying for my mistakes, and this is why I talk about it with kind of, I suppose, with a lot of power when I speak about it, because if I had somebody who spoke to me and told me, Rose, you have to, you have to, you have to think about your future and think about what you're doing, because this is not good. Maybe I would have listened, maybe not, but then I would have known that somebody tried to actually tell me. Okay, so thank you for coming to my YouTube channel today. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like this video, share with somebody who might find it useful, and I shall see you on my next one. Bye bye for now.